What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another match analysis. This time we're going to be analysing the Manchester City home match against Burnley in the FA Cup 4th round. So we're going to crack on with this video, and we're first going to be talking about the side. So Man City putting out a very strong side. We saw Fernandinho start, which was a big surprise to me, alongside Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne, strong midfield. And then we had Bernardo, Mahrez and Gabriel Jesus up front. We saw Ederson start again. He's taking the cup very seriously, isn't he? Not even Murray starting. And then we saw Otamendi starting too. Yeah, wow, pretty strong team. We also saw Walker on the right and Danilo on the left. Imagine you see that a lot with Mendy, who's missing this match for a slight strain, so he'll probably be out in the next game, but we should see him maybe again next weekend. And we also saw John Stones in the centre-back position too. Wow. Pretty strong team, isn't it? For Burnley, Joe Hart on the bench, as we saw Wood, Vokes and Barnes, three of Burnley's best attackers, all on the bench, as we saw Vidra go up front for Burnley as they rigged the changes into this game. So 23 minutes in, Danilo plays in Jesus on the left. He's waving in one way, then the other, steps through the Burnley defence, has a low shot at Pope. Pope will be disappointed that the ball's gone into the back of the net. It hits his foot, ends up in the roof of the net, but wow, Gabriel Jesus, this incredible form, goal-scoring form. When he starts, he scores goals. It carries on, it's incredible. And just to start, was looking for 1-0 Manchester City. It might not be a goal in the first 15 minutes, but always take a goal in the first half. Now, half-time, we saw Manchester City 1-0 ahead. City are doing well. We just needed that killer instinct just to get that second goal and hopefully get the quality to shine through to go on, push on in the second half and go and win this game and get through to the FA Cup 5th round. Now, early in the second half, Otamendi lost possession, and finally the chance that Burnley have been waiting for. Vidra, he's in, one-on-one, Ederson's rushing out, and he puts his shot wide. Crucial miss, that. Absolutely crucial. Just moments later, 52 minutes in, Kevin De Bruyne finds Bernardo Silva, goes on to his left foot on the right-hand side, has a pretty tame effort, takes a slight deflection, and Pope getting down, makes a slight mess of it, and it ends up going into the opposite side of the net for 2-0, and Pope, just like the first goal, I'm sure, will be extremely disappointed with that. Man City were putting a lot of shots in at him, so on a wet surface, with a wet ball, things like these happen, and when you're having as many shots as what Manchester City do, these things happen. What Pope needs to do now is not dwell on things too long, but get going again, and when he does get games, just gradually improve again. Now, 61 minutes in, lovely build-up play, started with Ederson with a ball up. It's then played across the edge of the box, one touch, two touch to Mahrez, who then finds Kevin De Bruyne, who sets himself up, takes one touch, 20-25 yards out. Saw a couple of goals like this last season. It's a vintage like Fernandinho finish is what I'd say, but Kevin De Bruyne showing he's still got it in his locker to fire it into the back of the net. A beautiful goal, and you feel like Kevin De Bruyne is really starting to get into his stride again, and he is going to be a very dangerous player with all these many games we've got coming up throughout the next, well, 2 or 3 months. He's going to be crucial, so if we can keep him fit and get him playing many games and get him back to that top level that we saw last season, he is going to be a huge asset. Why do we need to do any January editions when we've got a fresh Kevin De Bruyne coming back? It's immense. The quality that Manchester City have got, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. 73 minutes in, it doesn't stop there. It gets no easier for Burnley. Bernardo Silva finds Kevin De Bruyne on the right, looks up, fires a ball in. Gabriel Jesus is waiting on the far post just to tap in, and so Kevin Long, poor Kevin Long, he's got to do something. Puts his leg out, ball hits it and goes into the back of the net. He couldn't do anything about it. It's one of those unlucky own goals that really just couldn't be avoided. He couldn't not do anything because Jesus is going to tap it in, so he's got to do something and hope. Unfortunately, it goes into the back of the net for him and sees Manchester City go 4-0 up. 85 minutes in, Kevin Long couldn't really do much about the own goal, but he could have done a little bit about this one. Danilo does a poor pass looking, I think, for Gabriel Jesus on the left. Nowhere near it. So David Silva goes and tracks it down. This loose, lost ball, dead ball, wasn't anything there. He's just pressing, seeing what happens. Dawdle's on the ball too long, Kevin Long, waiting for the keeper, I think, to come out and sweep up. It never comes. David Silva gets in front of him. He panics, pulls him back. Weak penalty maybe, but he's pulled him back, he's got in front of him, so he's ended up like, instead of holding him off, he's ended up needing to foul him to try and get the keeper to come out and get the ball, or gather the ball, and so the penalty is given. Aguero steps up, keeper sent the wrong way as Aguero goes to the keeper's left and slots it in for 5-0. All in all, clinical, ruthless, relentless Manchester City, brilliant, 5-0 full time, wow, wow, and wow. This is what happens when you take the competition seriously, was my note. That's a little bit of a dig at a couple of the other sides, but when you put strong teams out and you're wanting to progress and you're wanting to do well and you're wanting to score goals, this is what happens. And at the end of the day, we've achieved our mission, we're through to the 5th round, we can't stop scoring goals, we're keeping clean sheets. I say bring on Newcastle. So we're going to check the stats now and see how the teams have compared. So City was 75% possession. I think it's the same as what we had against Burton Albion too. 21 shots, 10 on target there. Burnley with 4 shots, none on target. They'll be disappointed with that. 6 block shots from Manchester City. 801 passes compared to Burnley's 264. Burnley with a 70% pass completion rate. Manchester City at 91%. That's a lot better than what it was against Burton. That was at 87, so we managed to up it by the 4%. But when you've got like first teamers out there, that is what's going to happen. 17 key passes. 2 clear-cut chances created for Manchester City. 17 balls put in, only connecting with 3. Burnley put 12 balls in and connected with 5, so a lot better physically up front from them than what Manchester City were. Man City, low balls, passes, work the ball, and we don't need to be putting loads of balls and attempts in. We rarely win any headers, so it's a bit redundant and pointless. 12 corners went in from Manchester City, 3 from Burnley. Manchester City ended up putting in more tackles than what Burnley did. We ended up making more interceptions too. Burnley had twice as many clearances as what we did, and more than twice as many headed clearances too. And in terms of aerial duels won, Burnley ended up winning 7 of their 20 aerial duels. City, when the ball was in aerial duels, we ended up winning 13 of the 20 that we went for. So, yeah, pretty decent defensively. No saves for Ederson to make it. Just had to rush out and put Vidra under pressure. And that lovely build-up play to one of the goals. That's all he had to do. 6 saves made for Nick Pope. But, yeah. Pretty decent from Manchester City, in my opinion there. I feel a little bit sorry for Burnley in this game. We're not like taking our anger out on them, but we're just looking to gather our momentum, and to do that we have to get comprehensive wins, and so that's what we had to do. Kevin De Bruyne, my man of the match, and no debate about that. We don't really need to talk about anyone else getting man of the match. But Gabriel Jesus in particular had a great game, but I thought everyone had a strong game. This is a strong team performance. We won 5-0. You can't have a bad performance, keep a clean sheet and win 5-0 and not say, oh, you've had a bad game. And so, yeah, Kevin De Bruyne is a standout player. He's getting there, isn't he? Really is getting there. But, yeah, a lot better than what we was against Burton Albion. Like I said, all them first teamers out, I was expecting that. I won't expect it to be so strong, but it was. I'll take that. But another win. 8 in a row since our loss against Leicester. 33 goals, just over 4 goals per game on average. Since that game against Leicester, just 2 conceded. We've not conceded in 6 games. That's our 6th consecutive clean sheet. And it's also a record for Pep on keeping the most clean sheets in consecutive games. Brilliant, get in. Now, we've got Newcastle away coming up on Tuesday, so we're looking to beat them. If we can get a good win against them, we're going to have goal difference on Liverpool, and we could have the deficit down to 1 point, with Liverpool playing the next day, so we're playing before them. We've got a chance to get that deficit to 1 point and have Liverpool under pressure in their game against Leicester at Anfield, so it's not an easy game. There's no such thing as an easy game in the Premier League, though. Each game's got to be strategically assessed and analysed, and we've got to find weaknesses. Obviously, we'll take confidence that Newcastle lost today. They've lost 2-0 at home against Watford in the FA Cup, so we can take confidence, have a look at how they played, what Newcastle's strengths and weaknesses are, and be able to go up the Tyneside and try and pick up them 3 points, and then put the pressure onto Liverpool and ask questions of them. That's what we're looking for Burnley. The mistakes in this game were punished. They're going to have to do a lot better than that if they want to stay up in the Premier League. However, you go into the Etihad Stadium, you're going to struggle. Games against Manchester City don't really matter. You learn a lot about your characteristics and your ability to be able to stay into games and see how much of a good team performance you've got, to be able to keep your heads held high even when you're getting battered. That's what Manchester City are. And so for Burnley, they can learn the lessons from that and go on into the Premier League. Obviously, they've got a lot of important games coming up from now until May as they look to try and avoid relegation to the Championship. And so they're looking for a big 3 points. And I'm hoping we can do you a big favour on Tuesday and beat Newcastle. If Burnley can pick up a couple of wins over the next couple of weeks, they'll see themselves distance themselves from relegation and getting towards that mid-table Premier League patch. So there we go. All in all, 5th round, I'll take that. I think the draw's up on, I think it's Monday, probably Monday. Don't quote me on that, but probably Monday. I hope it's on Monday anyway. But yeah, decent. I'm looking forward to the draw, see who we get in the 5th round and see where we go from there. We're still in all 4 competitions. We can't ask much more. We've won 5-0. Absolutely brilliant. So there we go. That's been the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a big thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed the video. Don't forget also to subscribe, press the bell and put your push notifications on for more football and Manchester City content. And don't forget you can check out my social media links in the description below. And I'll see you all again for the next video. So it's been JSGC. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace. Ciao for now.